What's up, YouTube? I'm Red from Rants. As always, guys, if y'all enjoy our content, don't forget to like, subscribe, leave that comment down below. We're on the road to 1,000, and we hope you guys can help us get there. Alright, so it's been about a year and a half since the initial episodes of the pandemic began. People in general, it's been a slow process, but looks like things in a lot of places are getting back to normal. Here in Texas, it's being kind of normal-ish for quite a while. But I know people that are in New York and California and other places. They've really experienced the full set of lockdowns for basically over a year now. So it's not that shocking to think that people are maybe a little nostalgic. In fact, a new poll shows that most people would rather see Black Widow, the new Marvel film, in theaters rather than on Disney Plus. That, I will admit, I'm a little bit shocked by this, but look, I still don't know if I believe it. I do believe that, hey, people are nostalgic still about movies. I think that, especially my generation, they're going to hold on to it for as long as possible, movies being in theaters. But it's still, to me, kind of hard to believe that people really want to go back to this experience. Because I'll admit, last few times I was in a theater, not that much of a fan of it. I think when you hear people when they talk about, oh man, it's just something magical about seeing it on this big screen, and I'm like, what is magical? One, you have to pay for popcorn, drinks, all of that will set you back, I don't know, $30. The movie itself, if you've got a family, will set you back maybe close to $100. So overall, when you go to a movie, you could be, depending upon the size of your family or whoever you're going with, could be well over 100 and something bucks. Now, I mean, and it's for a movie that you might not even like. Is that really something that seems sensible in a lot of ways? Probably not. But again, we grew up on this, and that's just the way things have been since, I don't know, the last 50, 60 years. So, I mean, I can understand why people would not necessarily want to just give that up, even for Disney Plus or any of these other streaming services' sake. In a lot of ways, even though you can watch it from the comfort of your own home and get the same experience, just for less of the price. But let me just go ahead and read y'all this and let me see what y'all think, because I personally don't put much stock necessarily in this poll. It says, according to a new poll, audiences would prefer to watch Marvel's Black Widow in theaters instead of on Disney Plus. And then, of course, it goes on to talk about her. It states Black Widow is finally set to release this July, and when it does hit theaters, it will be over 2 years since Marvel's last released film. It seems that the lack of content has made fans all over more excited for the film. According to a new poll by Whip Media via The Direct, the majority of fans plan on watching Black Widow in theaters. 68% of those polls say they want to watch the film on the biggest screen possible. 32% said they would be watching the film from home when Marvel's Black Widow is available on Disney+. Marvel's second major release of 2021, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, had a similar response, with 64% aiming to see that film in theaters and 36% saying they would watch from home. Would not shock me. Now, Black Widow, you could very well say, could have a theatrical release and would make probably, a good chunk of money. But as far as Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings goes, with all the problems that they're having with China not really sure that they're going to show that in that country, um, it wouldn't shock me if Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings actually is a Disney Plus release. I feel like that's probably where you are going to make the most money with that film. I feel like that's probably where you're going to make the most money with that, anyways, simply because it's not as well known. Fans don't really understand, I mean, not fans, but just your average moviegoer doesn't necessarily understand where it fits in the whole scheme of things when it comes to the MCU. So I can see that being a release on Disney Plus. Now, a lot of other things, could get in the way. Of course, lockdowns and so forth. That could happen maybe in the near future, or just people say they want to see things, in movie theaters, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to go. I really do believe that Marvel will be making a really, really significant mistake if they released it mainly in theaters. I think you've still got half the movie going audience that's still not going to really want to see it. Let's face it, and I'll say it firsthand. I'm a huge sports fan, and my viewing habits was something that I just absolutely used to live for have changed a lot. And I'm kind of a little bit sad about that because I'm like, oh man, why am I not wanting to watch these things anymore? And it's for various different reasons. You got NBA playoffs going on, you got the MLB season going on strong right now. But I'm still like, I don't really, I'm not as excited about it as I was in years past. Like I said, a lot of that has to do with, fans being able to go to the games. Just the overall feel of it. A lot of it, I know, especially like NBA playoffs last year, kind of felt like preseason games. And you know what? Do you really, it might be good for the movie going fan if you go to a theater and it's only half filled up. But it's probably not going to give you the same feel as what it would if it was packed, which I don't think a lot of these places are going to be that way. I think where you're going to really see a big drop off isn't in the major hubs like New York, Los Angeles, and so forth. I think it's going to be in the smaller communities where they rack up a big gain as well. I think that's where you're going to see the drop off. And I don't think it would necessarily be significant. I just believe it would be like a quarter of the audience that would refuse to go out there and see it and just wait for it to come out on Disney Plus. I know personally I will probably be one. Not really wanting to go and spend that movie on something like a Black Widow or even Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Sorry, I'm not excited about any of those movies. I understand there's a lot of Black Widow fans out there. I personally am not one of them. I was never looking forward to this movie, so you could say, well, that's the reason why you wouldn't go out and see it. But, I'm excited about Doctor Strange too. And I'm a little bit more on the fence about it, but I still would prefer to watch it on Disney Plus. I mean, there's nothing in this phase 4 of the MCU that is just really grabbing me and saying, hey, you have to watch this as soon as it comes out. I mean, there's none of that. We might do it just for this channel. I might go out there and watch it. Lance might go out there and watch it. But as far as excitement goes, no, I don't have any excitement of the upcoming MCU slate of movies, and I don't really have that much excitement for going back to theaters. I guess I've been accustomed to not paying as much money and enjoying the experience a lot more with my family, where I can pause something and where I can just watch it multiple times if I so choose. Those things are more beneficial to me than the overall movie experience on the big screen. I have a big screen TV. I don't have to see something that is as, big as a room when I've got already a TV that is half the size of it anyway. So I'm like, that's not a big deal to me. But let me know what y'all think. Are y'all excited that, maybe we might be going back to normalcy when it comes to movie going? Are you going to go to theaters to see Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, Black Widow? Are you going to see any of them at all, anyways? Let me know what y'all think. I'm personally going to wait for it on Disney Plus unless something changes. But let me know what y'all think. And as always, guys, thanks for watching.